traders, thank you from around the world for showing up. I love doing these webinars. I think there's a lot to be gleaned from them for everybody. And you know, my job is to help you learn a little something today as well. So thank you for allowing me to present today. And my name's Oscar Carboni. For those of you who may not know me, I've been basically in this business since I'm an 18-year-old kid. Started down on the trading floors as an 18-year-old kid, got involved with analysis, just started to revolutionize what analysis was and put it on computers and the whole 9 yards since the 80s, brings us all the way to today. So I've got some great stuff I want to show you. Not quite a sales pitch here. I've got nothing to sell you, but I want to see if I can convince you to come hang out with me in my free trading room if you like what you see. So again, my name's Oscar Carboni, and just about every night since 2006, and that's not a joke, that's not an exaggeration, I put out a YouTube video just about every evening. The YouTube videos kind of look like this. Well, good morning. A little bit of, I come out. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening, traders. I stick around for a while to tell you what's going to happen. Then I show you a chart segment of what we expect to happen on that day. Traders for a slightly longer term view like the. And after that, I go to my live trading room and traders will meet me there. So they'll see the live video and they'll go, Oscar, how do we find you? It's really easy. If you like what you see, if you like this presentation you're about to see, you can just go to livewithoscar.com and it's written here. I'll show it to you. Really simple. You are literally just going to register. You're going to ask a few bits of information. You'll enter them. The only problem I see is lately, the first email you get from my site will go to your spam. Check your spam folder, come back. There's no price on this. There's no credit cards needed. You can hang out with me in my free trading room. I am there all the time. I'm there right now, in fact. Even though I'm doing a webinar from you, I'm still in my live trading room. Traders from around the world will gather here, and that's absolutely free to you. So I hope that you end up joining me. So the OMNI Trading Academy is www.livewithoscar.com, where you can find me. If you like what you see in this presentation, come to the free chat room, join me. Nothing bad can happen to you there. If you really like what you're about to see, you go to OMNIBootCamp.com and fill out an OmniCamp application, and maybe I'll consider teaching you personally in my home office here in Las Vegas. So there's a few things that you can do here. You can fill out that app if you want, but why don't you see what's going to happen first? See if you even care whether or not you'd want to come see me. So after reviewing emails, comments, going over social networking, the most asked question of me for this webinar, I had a lot of people ask me, Oscar, could you do this for the webinar? Could you do that? What will your webinar be about? I will admit the most asked question was this. Oscar, you made a call for 75.12 in the E-mini S&P for this year. Does your call remain valid for the year end? 75.12. The strange thing about that call is it's also the badge I've been wearing on my chest since I'm 20 years old, 21 years old. That's the year end call. And at the same time, I think in March this year, the Omni made 75.12, $7,512 in returns for the month of March. That number is an omen. So, will we get to 75.12? I say let's go on a hunt and see that for ourselves. Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to start with the review of something I call the AI Revolution Portfolio. If any of you are at this webinar that's seen me at the last webinar for Traders Corner, you'll recognize every one of the charts in this webinar. I built the webinar in 2004. I built a portfolio during that webinar. And in that portfolio, I said, if you want to catch the AI revolution, don't listen to anyone. Listen to the charts. I'll show you great stocks. Put them in your portfolio and take them into the future with AI. You'll do well with them. So I offered a bunch of stocks. What I'd like to do is every webinar I do, I go over that portfolio first, let my Omniacs and fans around the world know whether they should take any of those stocks or ETFs out of the portfolio, or should we just leave them in? So we're going to look at that portfolio first. Next, we're going to check on the technical health of the stock market and see where it can likely go from here. Here's my hope at the end of this and for the rest of the week and next week. I hope many of you make sound money-making, take sound money-making positions based on the information you are going to see in this presentation. So let's go. First thing I'm going to do is go to the AI stock or the portfolio that I offered to my OMNIacs and fans around the world when we were all the way down here. This is when Omni got interested in something called AI Play AIQ.O on Metastock. Look at this. The Omni started liking it here, and look at what it's done so far. I mean, talk about the AI revolution. Only the Trump tariffs were able to very short-lived disturb it, and it just keeps going higher. So something else that's on this chart, I've mentioned this to many of my traders in the world, that markets work in geometric figures, geometric ranges. They work in geometric angles, and the algorithms are written as such. And it's simpler than you may think. So pay attention to what you're going to see. I'm going to teach you some great stuff. I'm going to show you the simplicity behind things that seem so complicated on Wall Street. Example number one right here. This is a great channel. The green top and bottom of this channel has just worked perfectly, as you can see, just beautifully for AIQ. What else is happening on here? Well, they're also using this average. They're just keying off this average because you'll note every time. Let me grab a little, let's grab a little tool here to show you something. All right, so you might notice every time they get to this average, the street comes in and buys it in conjunction with this bottom trend line. The street just comes in and buys that average every single time it gets there. If it gets through, hits the trend line, goes right back above the average, and they buy it again. So this is a fantastic average to use on AIQ, and we've done some smart stuff, but watch the geometry here. I'm going to show you something very interesting. Do you see how if I took this little circle here and showed you the spot it hits the green line here, the spot it hits the green line here, the spot it starts going through the green line here, watch what happens when I show you where that geometry comes from. You see that green line is gone now, right? All I have is a trend line from this spot here to this spot. That's my only trend line. The rest of the chart did not happen yet. None of this has taken place, but I drew my trend line. Watch the geometry that Wall Street will use off of this simple trend line. They will buy it every time it gets there. Oscar, maybe that's a fluke. All right, maybe it is. Let's check example number 2. Watch this one. So we've got a trend line that goes from this high to this high. That's the end of the trend line. What makes Wall Street come in and sell it every time you hit that green line? Am I wrong? You hit the green line, they come in and sell. You hit the green line, they come in and sell. Sell, sell. Easy stuff, right? There's a simple techniques anyone can use. But I can tell you this, Wall Street loves support and resistance, simple stuff like that. And they write algorithms to go out there and look for those angles, geometric angles of support and resistance. So AI portfolio, chart number 1. Let's go through this quickly because I don't want to waste too much time on them. Next chart, the AI portfolio is the Globex. It's called the AI ETF BOTS.O. Okay. We got involved here. I did a webinar, by the way. Every time I do a webinar, it started here. The first webinar was by this little triangle. Every time I do a webinar, I put a circle or a W with that little diamond. So webinar was done here, webinar, 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 and now we're doing a webinar today. So I always mark every chart with a W and a diamond so that every time I do a webinar, we can go over the portfolio ourselves and see if we've taken anything out or they're still performing. So of course, AI play bots stays in the portfolio, looks fantastic. The only thing that ever bothered it basically was the tariffs. All right, what else do we have in our AI portfolio? There's a lot of great stuff to look at today. Another stock, Buzz.K. This is a very strong ETF if you're trying to capture AI without having to buy very expensive stocks. Another one in our portfolio, we gave it to you at $15 down here. Omni takes interest. It stays inside of this channel as best as it can. It breaks out for the tariffs and then explodes above. Look at where this is going. I mean, it's got a major update today alone. Another good stock that you would want to keep in a portfolio of long-term stocks if you're trying to figure out how to catch the AI revolution and you haven't figured it out yet. Write these stocks down. This has been going on since 24. I've been showing you right here. 23 actually is when I got involved in these stocks. By 24, we were showing everyone in webinar after webinar. So it was the end of 23, the beginning of 24. I've been showing these to you guys. You've seen them in the last webinar I did for Traders Corner. Anytime I do a webinar, you guys get to see these stocks because I have fans around the world that follow them. So check out the Buzz stock. Look at this ETF. I mean, it's just killing it. And it's running with AI. It's the future of our society, AI, the future of our markets. What else is there? We have the Franklin Intelligent Machines ETF. Now, this is an ugly chart to look at, right? I mean, it's just ugly, but a great ETF. Fantastic ETF if you want to be involved in the AI revolution. Another one you can put away is the IQM. And it seems to bounce off the 25 bar moving average like clockwork. If it ever gets back there again, that'll be your buy spot once again. But these are buy and holds. These aren't to trade. You buy all of these and just put them away. 2-3 years from now, you're just going to love Uncle Oscar, I promise you. Let's go to the next one. LOUP.K, another monster, big mover. It's an innovative deep water ETF. If I remember right, this company was building data centers underwater to keep them cool. One of the things that they were doing, the fundamentals to me do not matter. I am a chartist. The chart tells me to tell you, like I did at the end of 23, beginning of 24, put that one in your portfolio and hang on to that as well. So we're going to keep LOUP. In fact, we don't really make many changes. I'll show you the 3 that we've ever pulled out. They're coming up soon. Okay, LRNZ. We removed this from the portfolio right about here, way back in 24. We didn't like the way it was acting, so we yanked it out of the portfolio. But even though we yanked it out, look, it's still doing well, right? Isn't that sick? It's still doing well. But that's out of our portfolio. Let's go to the next window. This one, yanked out of the portfolio right here. As you can see that circle, we removed it from the portfolio here. It did drop. But look, in the end, it's still a decent stock. Every one of them have just been motoring ahead, with the exception of the tariff time. Everything's been motoring ahead. But the Wisdom Tree fund, I just don't like it as much as the others, so that's been pulled out as well. And then there's a third that's been pulled out, and I think that's about it. UBOT, we took that out of our portfolio as well because of underperformance. Now, I always reiterate, do a webinar and tell my Omniacs what to take out, what to leave in. We've only taken out 3 stocks. We took them all out on the same webinar, and we've never changed the portfolio since. So this portfolio is solid. But this one also ended up getting yanked from the portfolio, and it's a laggard for sure. It's not doing well. I'm glad we yanked it. And then we're going to go here, and we're going to look at this one. Now, think THNQ.K on Metastock. Unbelievably good ETF. Once again, if you're looking to get involved in the AI revolution but not spend all your money, these are inexpensive stocks that you can get into, and you should be able to ride them forward. These are ETFs. This one's an ETF anyway. So, traders, if you're liking what you're seeing, and believe me, it's going to get better than this. I'm just doing the portfolio first. I'm killing time at this moment. We haven't even gotten started yet. But if you like what you see, you can always come to OmniCamp, which is at omnibootcamp.com. You fill out an app there, and I'll end up calling you on the phone. Just watch this webinar. You're going to love this. What's up next? Boom. All right. So next on our list, and this is a wonderful one, it's the Defiance Quantum ETF, QTUM.O. Once again, put on our portfolio back here where Omni gains interest in 23. Started really showing it in 24, showed it in every webinar. Love this one too, and this is just going to continue higher and higher. By the way, all of them put in V bottoms during the tariffs as well, if you notice the V's on every one of my charts. But we'll get to that. What else is in the AI portfolio? This monster we added into the AI portfolio on 10/24. This is MicroStrategy, MSTR. We added it on 10/24 at 184. With a target of 277, which was hit here. Then we offered more targets, and then we did another webinar, and at the price of 363, I did a webinar a couple of weeks ago, and I said, if we get above this line right here, the top of this pennant flag, we will go to 500 in MSTR. It has gotten above the pennant flag, and it's already in the 450s. It's going to 500, kids. Great calls, easy calls to make, using simple technical analysis. Simple stuff. I'll show you. Wait until we start getting into it. Right now, I'm just reviewing. And Then we're going to start to look at something different. So the AI portfolio looks fantastic. We're going to leave all those stocks that are in there in. We're not going to take any of them out. Now, the big question that was asked of me, and I mentioned it to you, is Oscar, are we going to hit the 7512 ES at the end of the year? Will the E-mini S&P hit your call for 7512? Now, this webinar I put together last night, I wish I could have been the first presenter today because I would have been able to get you all along for today, but that's all right. I get my chance at 3 p.m. So, Dow Jones Industrial Average daily bar chart. What you're looking at is, once again, good old support lines like I just showed you on all of those ETFs. What seems to happen is Wall Street writes Wall Street writes algorithms looking for geometry. How do we know? Well, look at this. A perfect buy opportunity happened yesterday into today and straight back up we went. Now, this is your Dow Jones Industrials. Is this resistance? It's hit here once, came down. Hit here again, you'd call it a double top, came down. I don't think that's what we're seeing, but we're going to get back to that chart. Keep this one in mind. Let's go look at a few more charts, then we'll get back to that one. So let's go here. Now we're really going to start to mess with this a little bit. Let's go to chart number 5. Here's the Russell 2000. Are we at support? Are we going higher? Oscar, can we make your 7512 call? Well, looking at the daily charts, look what just happened here. I had this all mapped out for you last night, traders. I wish I could have given this to you last night. It was perfect. So right there, perfect buy right off what? The support line. They tested the support. Simple technique. That support line goes from the absolute low of tariffs to the next low it hits. Boom, Wall Street comes in and does what? Buys it on the geometry. And this average, simple stuff, testing support. That's your Russell testing support. Will we go higher? Russell says yes. What else is out there? Let's see what else I can do for you. Look at this one. E-mini S&P. Now, what I like to call this rally, see in between these two trend lines, this wonderful rally that's going on right here, I like to call this the Trump got it all wrong rally, because that's all you hear on the street, right? These are people that don't read charts and use emotions to get on TV and spew nonsense. If you read these charts properly, the last thing you would think is we're going down because Trump, forget him. The last thing you would think is we're going down at all. But people think because whatever, they don't like the president, whatever's in their heads, I don't deal with that at all. I just look at analysis. I don't care who the president is. So Trump got it right, if you ask me, but the street says he's got it all wrong. But look at this rally from the lows of the tariffs. Does that look like anyone got anything wrong? And what did it do on Thursday morning? Support test, boom, away we go. Exactly what I wanted to show you this morning. Get long, get ready, we're going higher. So E-mini S&P also says yes, looking at the daily. Let's go look at something else. I can't see what you guys are typing to me. There's too many things on my screen. Dan, if you could handle that, I'd appreciate it. My live trading room, there are people typing to me in there right now. Right. So NASDAQ, what happened here? Once again, held the support, held the average, the simple support line, simplicity. Currently testing support lines, held well. We're going to have a gangbusters rally on Friday. You'll see this thing is going straight up. So NASDAQ also as a daily looks fantastic. What else did I wanted to show you? Oh, yeah, let's go back to this one now. Now we're going to go back and we're going to check this guy out again. The same one that I told you we'd get back to. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Are we going to go higher? Well, let me show you what this really looks like. This is a technique I like to call the knock technique. Many of you Omniacs out there know this technique if you've been following me, right? Let's go play knock. Check this out. We knock on this door. It doesn't open. The market goes down. We knock on the door again. The market doesn't react. The door doesn't open. The market goes down. We knocked on the door again right here. The market did not go up. It went down, but it hit the absolute spot where we would expect. Good old-fashioned support lines. Started to head back up. Is the Dow going to get above? Let's go look at some other stuff. Talk about support first. You see how the support works so well here? and it worked well here. Well, it doesn't just work in indices, it'll work in anything. Watch this. You're also going to get fantastic looking support in silver. Look at the support line. Look at how many times you could have bought that support line in silver because it's what Wall Street is looking for. I promise I grew up on Wall Street. They program simplicity into this stuff. They don't get overcomplicated. There's a bull flag here. You can clearly see it, right? Bull flag makes the market go higher, and it clearly goes higher. So we've got a couple of bull flags. Boom, market hits the support in that bull flag before it decides to go higher and break out. What does it do? Builds another flagpole and then builds another flag. It's a wonderful thing. What happens after that? Once again, up, up, up. But every time it came down to that simple support line before it went up. So what do we do, Omniacs? If it gets here, what do? Buy it, right? Exactly what we're going to do if we get our chance. That's simple analysis. Simple support lines work very, very well. Now, I'll tell you, I've been trading since I'm 18 years old. The markets like a simple approach. They are not very happy with a complicated approach. Do you know why? Because markets are complicated. This is a complicated business. When you bring a complicated system to a complicated market, you're overcomplicating the whole entire scenario. When you bring simplicity and quiet into the markets, I promise you, you will make the best calls anyone has ever seen. Take it from me. You've seen enough of them, haven't you? We've made tremendous calls, and all we use are charts. So what else holds well on support? Check this guy out. Ethereum. Look at how well the support works for Ethereum. Now, for weeks, I've been giving out targets in Ethereum, 3,100, then 3,187. We hit both of those, and now 3,575 is on deck to be our next target. Look at the massive breakout. Built a bull flag, one little breakout through it, didn't work. Built a bull flag, but it didn't go until it bounced off of the simple support line, until it bounced off the algorithm Wall Street wrote, waiting for it. That's why it bounced. They know when to get in. We know when to get into, I promise. So if you look here, you had a bear channel all the way down, and you had bear flags building, right? This is a bear flag. Now it switches to a bull channel, the green, and a bull flag builds into another bull flag, into another bull flag, and away we start to go. Analysis works really well if you keep it simple, I promise you. But let's look at more. So now we're going to go back and take a look at this guy once again. Let's go to Metastock. And that knock-knock technique I just showed you. Will that work? Will we get above? Well, let's go find out what the leaders, by the way, the Dow Jones is a laggard. It's not a leader. The Dow Jones Industrial Average does not lead, it lags. Follows the futures markets. So let's go here. Let me show you how this works. This door will, it might, not might, forget the word might. This door will open. Do you want proof that this door will open? Which door am I referring to? The door on the Dow Jones. Knock, didn't open. Knock, didn't open. Knock, didn't open. Will it open? Yes. Do you know why? Not only are we buying it off the support lines, I mean, that's simple stuff. Watch how I can prove to you that this is absolutely going to, this door is going to open and this market's going higher. Remember, this is the index, not the future. This is the index. Now, let's see if there's any proof that this will go higher. This should be. The NASDAQ has the same look. Knock, knock, knock. What happened? On the futures, the door opened, didn't it? See, the door opened on the futures, which lead the index. So NASDAQ, the door opened. Let's see what else. I think I got a few of them for you. E-mini S&P, the door opened. See that? This door already opened. Knock, knock, knock. You cannot knock on a door. You cannot knock on what I call a door, a support or resistance line, too many times in this industry without the door opening. It's what happens. That's how analysis works. Knock, knock, knock. Finally, the door opens. So the door opened already in the futures. Futures usually lead the Dow. The index usually follows. Futures have already broken out. So if futures have already broken out, wouldn't it make sense then that this is going to break out too? This will break out as well because it follows the futures. So far, the evidence is absolutely pointing towards yes, we are going to get to that 75-12 target. But let's look at a few more charts and then we'll go from there. Let's see what else I could show you here. The YM basically will break out. Now, how well does technical analysis work? When I show you techniques, it's just amazing how they surprise me from the day I started learning them, just how accurate they are. So let's go to page 21. I think I had a chart there that I had drawn up a while back during the Trump tariff crash. So can we get to 75-12? Is there enough time? Are the markets bullish enough? Can the S&P reach the OMNI year-end call? So let's look at this a little bit. We dropped from 62.78 in the S&P straight down to 48.77 and a half. Bam! That was a $1,401 point drop. 1,401 point drop in the E-mini S&P. Hits that low, and if you guys have been following me, you knew I had targets down there. I told everyone the week before we got there, that would be the spot to go long. That's for another video, though. All right, so anyway, we did nail the bottom coldly. Anyway, we dropped 1,401 points. Then we rallied from 48.77 to 63.43. That's a rally of 1,465 points. Now, can we get to 75-12 before the end of the year, which is 5.5 months? Well, let's look at it this way. We rallied 1,465 points since April. Since April. April, May, June, a little piece of July. All the way up. All we have to do is rally 1,169 more points, 1,169, and we will hit by 75-12. That's all it's going to take. Can we get there, considering that we rallied almost 1,500 points in 3 months? Can we go 1,100 points in 5.5 months? It's a resounding yes. The answer to that question. Oscar, will we hit 75-12 this year? Absolutely. I can't imagine us not getting there unless some insane geopolitical event takes place that we weren't ready for, we've never heard of, and it knocks us off track. If that doesn't happen, you're looking at this call being valid for your E-mini S&P. Now, another testament to the accuracy of technical analysis, because this is where all the information comes from. You could ask friends, you could ask anybody, but no one can give you information like a chart can. Look at this chart. This is a NASDAQ chart that I built. This is a testament to the power of technical analysis. I built this chart on 11/30 last year, November 30th. Many of my Omniacs in my live trading room, they seen the chart. And what I did with that chart was I said, we've got a target of 15,300, give or take 500 points by April of 2025. I did this in 24. And all of us got a little bit afraid. All of us went, we're going to put that chart off to the side. We're never going to speak about it. Why? Because we were in gangbusters bull market at this point. And right here, I came up with a target that would get hit by 425. Lo and behold, once it started to go down, we re-pulled this chart back up. We revisited it. Look at what it did. We expected it to hit here by 425. These are monthly bars. It went bang, 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 425. It hit here on 430. Unbelievable, right? That was just a piece of analysis that we set off to the side. The market gave us, the charts gave us this analysis. We didn't conjure it up. Told us that we would drop. And you know where NASDAQ went down to? Got down to 15 and change. Look, it got down to 16,286. We expected 15.8 if you add or subtract 500 points. It just about nailed our target. That's an amazing piece of analysis that was set forth before any of this ever happened. That is why I always try to show people how well charts work, how strong they are, and the fact that you really don't have to listen to anything but a good chart read, and it will show you everything that's coming in the future. Now, when I met Traders Corner a few years ago, I literally said, guys, I'm the best chart analyst on this planet. I promise you. And you chuckled at me and you said, Oscar, that's quite the boast. And I said to you, get to know me a little bit. See what you think. What do you think since you've gotten to know me? Have I not proved to you that I can tell you where the markets are going to go before they get there with amazing accuracy? Traders Corner, Metastock, everybody who watches me, we do fantastic work. And here's why. I don't believe in myself at all. I don't believe in anything I conjure up. I am a stupid human being. I do not know where the markets are going to go. It is not possible for a human to do that. But it is possible for a human to take a good pair of eyes and a halfway decent working brain and come up with fantastic calls off the chart. You've got to let the chart do all the leading. You've got to let the chart tell you what's going to happen. You've only got to listen to get this right. So when the markets were cracking, I remember I showed this chart. I think if I remember right, it was on like chart 6. I started to show a bunch of Omniacs what a V bottom would look like and that we are at one now, and don't get nervous. When we started to crack, I showed everyone this V bottom and this inverted head and shoulders in E-mini S&P. We were not out of the shoulder. We were inside this shoulder. It was still hovering inside. I told everyone this is an overall bullish formation and we will go higher. We V bottomed for the tariffs. We got out of the head and shoulders, and the projection is for dramatically higher, and you see it's happening. But it's not just E-mini S&P. Check this out. It's everywhere. Look at the NASDAQ. It's everywhere. We have V-bottom, thank you, Trump, to the tariffs, and we are just going to go up. Nothing goes straight up, but we are going up for the rest of this year. This is no bear market, kids. Serious bull market that we're in. What else? I think the Russ might look that way too, right? I'm not sure. Let's check the Russ. Even the Russ, look at that. The Russ just starting to get out of its right shoulder. So I have to tell you, kids, what I have to say is absolutely, positively, unequivocally, yes, I think that we are going to move higher. I think this door will open, and I think the stock market is going to reach our 75-12 target. And that is what I had presented for you. I didn't want to take too much time. I actually had a whole bunch of other charts, but I thought it was going to take an hour to get through it. Turns out it did not take a full hour. But what I have just shown you here, this is absolute stuff, kids. There's no guessing about anything we just looked at. This is how it works. This is where it's going. And this is what will happen. And the Omni makes fantastic calls based on this analysis. Once again, because it doesn't believe in human thought. It doesn't believe in my thoughts, thank God. It doesn't believe in anything but the chart and what's happened in the past. And whatever happens in the past can be brought forward to show you future pricing. Anyone who's ever hung around me can tell you that I can use the chart to show you the price that you will see in the future. This is 2026. I've been putting out year-end calls in the public eye since 2006. I have Omniacs around this world, and any of them would testify right now that the Omni has not missed a single year of getting it right, except for 1 year only. And what happened that year was the market S&P opened, rallied up, came back down, and settled at the end of the year at the same price, so no one got the call right. Barring that, ask any Omniac around me. I put a year-end call out in the beginning of each year. We have nailed it right year after year since 2006 through 2007, 8 crash, and 9. We got it right during COVID. We got it right during Trump. We got it right for every one of the years I'm speaking to you. And all of this stuff is out on my website, livewithoscar.com. You can find it there. Every trade I've ever done and every video I've ever produced is on YouTube. And the videos that I do get sent out to people all over the world. The analysis I do and the trade recommendations I offer get sent out to people all over the world at the same time. You know what you can't do? You can't subtract. You can't retract. You can't say I didn't say this in that video. You can't say I didn't tell you to buy if they lost. You can only tell the truth when you send your work out to thousands of people every morning around the world, and the truth comes off the charts. That is my presentation. I hope I've helped you out in some way today.
Hey, thank you, Oscar.
Of course.
Such a refreshing and focused approach. His links are in the chat there at omnibootcamp.com if you want to get some training with Oscar. And if you want to just try him out, go to his website, https://livewithoscar.com. So I encourage both you to go there. Oscar, you are a legend.
Well, thank you, my friend. I hope this helps you guys. And if you ever need anything, please come to me. It always helps to get the information off the chart rather than get it from anybody else.